Hello, this is the trade site Forex market preview and international economic data roadmap for the week beginning Sunday, the 4th of March, 2018, ending, of course, on Friday, the 9th. Hope you had a good trading week last week. Forex was okay. Wouldn't call it the most exciting Forex week I've ever seen, but it was okay. Let's get started here by looking at the dollar index daily chart. So you can see we were up Monday, Tuesday, came back Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, for the most part, and basically stuck in a fairly narrow range. We'll go through the daily charts of the major indices, then we'll look at the intra-week action, then we'll look at the economic data coming out this week and see if there's anything we need to be aware of. So the euro dollar is still operating under that Seeker 13 sell signal that nailed the high. And actually, let's see, did we recycle? Hang on, got a projection when we recycled. So we're still operating under that here on the euro dollar. Pound to dollar at 1 month lows, pretty much down for the week. Euro yen also down for the week, getting back to that static trend line. This thing until this week was pretty narrow for a long time. Aussie dollar down, pound yen down, pound Swiss down, New Zealand dollar down. So most everything down except the dollar itself. All right, so let's look at the intra-week action, at least on our two majors. So the euro dollar high to low 200 pips. Biggest moves were Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday on the way down, Thursday on the way back up. Pound dollar, high to low is more. It was more like 350 pips. With some pretty good movement on several of the days there. Caught some of that on Wednesday, and overall, no complaints. But 350 pips is good range. What the euro did was not great. All right, so let's take a look now at the economic data calendar for the week ahead. Sunday, we've got the Italian parliamentary election, Australia's AIG Services Index and MI inflation gauge, building approvals out of Australia, company operating profits out of Australia, a lot of data out of Australia Sunday. China's Caxton Services PMI, then you got Europe, you got Spanish, Italian, French, German, and the broad European, and then the UK Services PMI data. They all spread out by like 5-10 minutes apart each for some reason. I've never understood that. Retail sales out of Europe at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Final services PMI number here in the U.S. at 9:45 a.m. ISM non-manufacturing PMI here in the U.S. Retail sales out of the U.K. Aussie's got current account and retail sales and this rate announcement 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time Monday night out of Australia. 30-year bond auction out of Japan. CPI out of Switzerland. Europe's retail PMI numbers. UK's 30-year bond auction. New Zealand's GDT price index. IB PMI out of Canada. Factory orders out of the U.S. Tip economic optimism number out of the U.S. This is all Tuesday. AIG construction index out of Australia, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Tuesday night here in the U.S. And then their GDP. Australia is busy for data this week, first 3 days. Wednesday, leading indicators out of Japan at midnight, French trade balance, Swiss foreign currency reserves, UK's Halifax HPI, revised GDP out of Europe, ADP non-farm employment change here in the U.S., Canada's trade balance at 8:30 in the morning on Wednesday, and then also our trade balance. So that's one of our big three. So we'll be half size ahead of that going into Wednesday. 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Canada's got a rate announcement. So the Bank of Canada makes their rate announcement. Crude oil inventories here in the U.S., Beige Book, consumer credit, manufacturing sales out of New Zealand. And then Japan does bank lending, current account, and final GDP. Australia's trade balance, again with Australia. China's trade balance is due Wednesday night. Japan economy watcher sentiment, Swiss unemployment rate, German factory orders, U.S. challenger job cuts. Europe's got the minimum rate announcement, so they've got the ECB's got their rate announcement as well. So we've got Australia, Canada, Europe, and then Canada's got housing starts and building permits. U.S. has unemployment rate, that's the weekly, or unemployment claims, that's the weekly number. Natty gas. Household spending out of Japan Thursday night, along with M2 money stock, average cash earnings. China's got CPI and PPI. Bank of Japan, so now throw them in for your rate announcement and their press conference. And then Friday, we've got German industrial production and trade balance, French government budget balance and industrial production, China's M2 money supply and new loans, UK manufacturing production and goods trade balance, construction output, industrial production. Canada's got their unemployment rate. Oh, and look, the U.S. has its unemployment rate. So another one of our big three. We've got trade balance on Wednesday and unemployment rate on Friday. Be half size ahead of both. a lot of stuff coming out this week. Hopefully we'll get some action. See what happens. Next weekend, as a reminder, is the time change already here in the U.S., so we're going to be switching already off at the time. My most hated weekend of the year. Charts, as usual, brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading week.